Hey, Dustin Williams here from the Atheist Nomads, doing another personal log. It is now 8:40 a.m. on Tuesday, August 23, 2016. Like I said yesterday, we've done what we can in LA, so we're going to be going ahead and starting to head back. We're going to do it in 2 days this time. I'm going to go via Reno, which is where I'll probably be posting this from. It's one angle I haven't talked about is sleep. Friday night, I had a really hard time sleeping. I might have gotten 4 or 5 hours of actual sleep. Saturday night, after making the 13-hour drive, again, I probably got about 4 or 5 hours of actual sleep. Sunday night, after I at least was down here, had started the process and found that nothing was going according to plan, I actually got a full 8 hours. And last night, I think I slept about 9.5. Feels really nice. Wow, yeah. And then one other thing is, I was thinking about this last night while eating. I think I did find the closure that or at least most of what I needed for closure. That's something that needs to be, that's different for every situation. The mourning I'm doing here isn't, in this scenario, isn't mourning the loss of a significant relationship in my life. That mourning was done more than 2 decades ago. This was a lot more biological. It was very much more just, and that isn't even necessarily accurate, but definitely felt a lot more along those lines, which is weird. I think the whole thing is weird. But one thing I've definitely concluded is, we have found that he did not want us in his life. That was his choice. He took actions to make sure that we weren't in his life, such as not listing us as next of kin on medical records. And I've filled out the paperwork to take care of at least getting some of that information, so I think I've done what I can to, I put in a good effort. I think I've paid my respects, and I can go home feeling good about that. So that's it for now. Gonna go ahead and pack up the recorder and then probably record a little bit. Might record a little bit more when we get back to when we get into Reno.
All right, it's August 24 at about 6:30 p.m. We got back home today, so sorry I didn't get this up last night. We were both pretty tired by the time we got into Reno, and we went and played in the pool for a little bit, and then went over to a brewery and had some drinks. One of the things that happened on the drive yesterday was it was right when we stopped for lunch. That was fortunate. I got a call from the funeral home. They were wanting to verify details before actually submitting the death certificate, and also confirm that we were ready for the cremation. And that didn't really bother me on the phone. It was talking details. And then when I told Lauren, it hit me again. It's definitely, I get a lot more sad when I think about the body. That makes perfect sense because of the fact that, actually, I don't know if I can explain why that makes sense to me, but I'm sure you can all agree that does make sense. That's what makes humans human, even when you look at the other hominid species, is the fact that they take care of the remains of their dead. The point that you have ceremonial burial practices, or at least some kind of burial practices, that's a definite point where you can say, yes, these were humans. And so that's about as human as you can get right there. And anything else really wouldn't be human. The rest of the drive was fine. It was nice having a little bit different scenery. The crossing the Sierras yesterday evening was absolutely beautiful. The drive through the desert today wasn't bad, but was uneventful. It's good to be home. It is good to have this, at least this phase of it, over. I don't know. I know I will do another personal log at some point when there is some further progress, but I don't know for sure when that will be. I hope you've all enjoyed getting the chance to get a little bit of my personal thoughts on this experience. I do have one more email that I did get in about it that I want to share. This was from Duncan. Good stuff, mate. Dads are complicated when shit goes wrong. 3 cheers for wearing your heart on your sleeve and sharing it, mate. He's from Australia, so hence the use of the word mate. But it's been nice to be able to share it. I am one of those type of people that, especially with my educational background, I was studying. I studied for 5 years to be a minister. I've actually had classes on how to deal with grief and loss, both from the ministerial standpoint and a death and dying class when I was trying to do a psych minor. I have training on how this is all supposed to go, and I also know that when it comes to grief, the only rules are do it at your own time and pace, the way you need to do it, don't rush it, and don't skip steps. And I have allowed myself to go through the process, and it's been cathartic to share it, because I can only think so much in my head. Actually, I have a tendency to really overthink things in my head, and that can actually confuse things a bit. When it's talking to Lauren, I can repeat things over and over, and I can, it helps with working through some of it, but there eventually comes the point where you need to actually settle on what your thoughts are, and utilizing a medium where you have a limited space to put things. Where, I don't want you to hear me ramble on for hours. A few minutes here and there about it is much better, and that has definitely helped me to simplify it as I've worked through the thoughts and emotions. So anyway, that's probably it for now. If you want to reach out to me any more about this, still Dustin at atheistnomads.com. We'll talk about any further feedback on the next news episode for Atheist Nomads. And speaking of Atheist Nomads, the interview that's scheduled for this week, it was recorded on Monday without me. I am tired from this trip, so I will not be editing it tonight. We'll worry about that tomorrow, and you should see it late Thursday night or early Friday. So it will be coming, don't worry, just a day late. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye.